got small businesses that are dynamic and forward-looking and just bringing out the best in a huge number of people. We've also got educational institutions, Dalton State, many other technical schools. We've got world-class everything from healthcare to education in this state. We're going to have the biggest port on the East Coast. I mean, this sounds like a great state, right? Right. It sounds like it's got everything it needs, and yet the current leadership has taken us to the bottom. And we are dead last in unemployment. Dead last. Every single other state is doing better than us. We are dead last in terms of how fast we're recovering from the recession. Dead last. Every other state, and the District of Columbia, by the way, is doing better than us in terms of providing jobs for its people. That's unacceptable, and it doesn't make sense. That is, and we could talk about healthcare indicators. We could talk about education. We're 47th in terms of our high school graduation rate. We're near the bottom in terms of SAT scores. I mean, none of that is the state that I know we should be. And frankly, we are. We are a great state. We're the 8th biggest state, by the way. We're the 8th biggest state. We're going to be bigger than Ohio in 2 years. And there is no reason for us to keep comparing ourselves to South Carolina and Alabama. And I'm here from Alabama. I apologize, but I mean, you moved here for a reason, right? That's it. There's no reason for it. And what they offer essentially are excuses. That's what they offer. But we know what the facts are, and I know a lot of y'all are educators because I've already talked to you, but the way we solve this problem is we make sure we educate our people, we have an economy that works for everybody, we have an honest government. And what that means to me, first of all, on education, you have watched the worst contraction of public education in the history of our state, and it's a crime. There's 9,000 fewer teachers than there were 5 years ago, and far more students. Which means we were talking about who the educators that know how many people are in their classes. You know, 26 kids in a kindergarten class, 36 kids in every other class. I mean, that's unacceptable. You've also got 2/3 of our districts have cut instructional days. And as they've stopped doing their job in Atlanta, they've passed that on to the local boards, and so now you're getting less educating, and 91 school districts have raised your property taxes. So go find a good, I mean, we are getting a huge amount of Republican support, independent support in this race. And you go out to talk to your good Republican friends out here and ask them if they want less education and higher taxes. They will say no. And you can tell them that they need to change their vote for governor. All right? Because what they're getting now is higher taxes and less education. The other piece of the puzzle is the economy. And the other thing that has happened for us in this state is the folks that truly generate jobs, 2/3 of all the jobs that ever get created are created by small business. And yet that community is not even on the radar screen in Atlanta. Not even on the radar screen. The middle class has been left out. If you don't have a lobbyist or a direct line to the governor's office, you are not getting anything from this governor. That's just a fact. And I'll tell you that, and I said it today also, in November, we will have the ability to make sure that you won't need a lobbyist anymore if you're a small business. You won't need a lobbyist if you're a regular working family because you'll have a government. All right. Yeah. The last thing I was going to talk about is ethics. Yeah, right. I mean, like I said earlier, I used to have this long speech about ethics and went through all the scandals, but it just took so much time to list all the scandals. So now my position on ethics in the governor's office is this. I think we need some. Let me conclude with this. I mean, the politics of the situation is this. We today, based upon all of the most credible, best data, are ahead of the governor by a couple points. They know they're losing, they're nervous, they're scared, they've been making so much money that they're not sure what they're going to do if they lose. That was a kid. but they're nervous about it, and they're lying on television, they're lying on in the mail, they're doing everything that they can to cling to you know, they're even attacking me on the Hope Scholarship. I mean, the governor destroyed the Hope Scholarship. There are 80,000 fewer people on the Hope Scholarship today than when the governor took over. 80,000 fewer Hope recipients. And every single Hope recipient now pays for 40% of the cost of college. And a huge number of folks who earn the grades, who do well in school, who then get into college and have done everything we asked of them, some of them have to drop out. I talked to a girl today, a woman who is in Catoosa County, who went to school to go be a registered nurse. She was excited to move ahead, to help out her family, like the average technical college student in this state, who's a 22-year-old woman with kids. Excuse me, 28-year-old woman with kids. And she went back to school. The governor changed the Hope grant. She had to drop out. She's not a nurse today because of the governor's plans. And he's telling me that and he's claiming that I've hurt the Hope Scholarship. I mean, he's willing to say anything to do this. But we're winning. And what we need, this is tonight. Y'all were all here for the last fundraiser of this campaign. So this is the very last fundraiser. We are putting the money together. We need whatever you got left. As you said the other night, we've got enough money to win this campaign. It's just in your pockets. but we do need that. But after tonight, what we're going to need is for y'all to go out and talk about this with your friends and talk about it. Every single person here knows somebody who might not vote. You got to talk to them. You got to say, when are you going to vote? What's your plan for voting? How are you going to get there? What can I do to help? And all of y'all know people who might vote for the other side. And we've got to go out there and say it's too important to play partisan politics. There was a time, a long time ago, when they would say if they're right, you vote for them because they're right, and if they're wrong, you vote for them because they're a Democrat. Right? We all heard that. I heard that. And now in a lot of places, the opposite is true. They'll tell you if they're right, you vote for them because they're right, and if you're wrong, you vote for them because they're Republican. Those days have to be over. They have to be over. We have to take back the government from the hyper-partisan politicians that are trying to bring Washington politics here. And if we can do that, it'll be person to person to person. And nothing cuts through the mess on TV like you talking to your friends. Like you talking to your friends. Right? Nothing does that better, because if you tell people that this is important, that we've got to move forward, that it matters to you, I can never motivate somebody like that because they think of me as a politician on TV. But if you've met me, if you believe in this project, and you go out there and talk about it, we will win. And if we are able to do that, if we win, then we will have a forward-looking, dynamic set of policies for this state. All of those ingredients that we have that have set us up to be a powerhouse, we can unleash them. And when we do it, it's going to be something we can all be proud of, and we'll all have been a part of it together. It's very exciting for our state. It's very exciting for me. I really appreciate y'all. And I'd be happy to take a couple questions, but just let me say thank you first for coming out tonight. I really, really appreciate it.